Hello, negotiators. My name is Max Bevilacqua. I'm a professional negotiation instructor, probably because of the shortcomings of my negotiation capabilities in my personal life. And I am going to be showing you and reacting to a clip of The Office. We're going to break it down real good like.
Why don't you just take that pen and stab me in the heart? This is me, Jim. This is me.
Michael.
Okay, so what we're seeing here is Michael invoking the element of relationship. The 7 elements, by the way, is our bread and butter negotiation tool. Relationship has to do with the previous experiences you've had with the other stakeholders or your counterparties, and given that he's been dating Jan, that's at play here, and so he's saying, it's me, Jan, it's me. We often say that people are either soft bargainers, people who will give up substance for the sake of the relationship, or hard bargainers, people who are willing to extract more value at the expense of a relationship. We're saying that's a false distinction. You don't have to choose. You really shouldn't be either. You should be soft on the person and hard on the substance. So sometimes you'll see people play with the relationship for the sake of substance and getting something substantive. Maybe you've haggled in an open air market and someone said, for you, my friend, a special price. Relationship move. It's me, Jan. It's me. Relationship.
Please, why don't we just take a break? This is
Okay.
really going
No. You do not try tactic number 8 on me. I invented tactic number 8. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, Toby, how about it?
Sure.
Great.
Okay, a lot has happened in this short amount of time, and they're not small things. Jan has called for a break, and Jan has suggested that Toby leave. These are small maneuvers. They're the communication element at play. So communication is both the flow of information between the parties and the process of the negotiation. So any modification to the process, like, hey, let's take lunch, or we should do this over dinner, or let's go for a walk, is also a communication move. So suggesting a break is a totally underrated negotiation move. There's no such thing as super negotiators, just smart moves. And this move can help you settle and get back to a good place because we all get knocked off balance. Also, Toby's presence at the table is likely not good. Jan is aware of the relationship amongst even people sitting on the same side of the table, which sometimes can be harder to manage than relationships across the table. Go, Jan.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Great interest move. Not the most tactful interest move, but basically when there are difficult tactics, you have a few options, and one of them is to name the game. I think you could say that Jan is implicitly naming the situation and saying, look, your behavior is slightly erratic and strange. You're not being, as reasonable as I'd hope you'd be, even though it's Michael Scott. And she says, look, what is going on? Tell me what is weighing on you.
Oh, it was a weird day. I accidentally cross-dressed. And then Daryl made me feel bad for not making any money. And then I had to ride up here with stupid Toby. And then your assistant was all young and hot, and
Okay, Michael.
Okay, so this interest move worked. Michael disclosed what was really going on for him, which is he's feeling a lack of pride, a lack of autonomy, threatened by other males in several different ways. He's showing his insecurity, and that was driving his behavior. There are dynamics relative to gender here, and an overemphasis on pride is definitely something that afflicts many men and those engaging in male-dominated spaces. This happens a lot, and so definitely something to be mindful of is what are your interests? What are you really trying to do? Because pride is always there. We're trying to gain pride and avoid shame. At what cost? So Jan's interacting with it, and she's going to make an offer.
I can offer you a 12% raise, but you have got to ask for 15.
well, that's ridiculous. I'm never going to make
No, I just need you to ask for it so I can record that you asked for it. Okay?
So... All right, Levinson. Here's the rub. I would like a 15% raise.
No, but we can offer you 12.
But you just said 15.
So there are two main elements at play here. I mean, one is communication. The joke here, to a degree, is that Jan has told him the game that she needs to play, where she needs to be able to record, that he asked for 15, and then he can get 12. Even though Michael is, or Steve Carell is, hilariously misunderstanding intentionally, he can be forgiven for that, because most people think of a negotiation as positional bargaining, where people throw numbers back and forth and try and get, whittle people down to maybe a middle place. It's not a really great style of negotiating. I mean, it's quick and efficient, but for larger matters, it's really bad on the relationship, because everything you're saying to a person is usually dishonest. Like, here's my final price. No, it's probably not. And when you then budge on that price, you've basically said everything I've been saying is a lie to you. So even though Jan says to Michael, hey, I need to do this positional bargaining thing to record it, Michael still misunderstands. And that's a tough dynamic. Also, Jan needs to record this for the sake of legitimacy. She needs to be able to go back to her stakeholders away from the table and explain why she's giving him 12. She needs to record that Michael has asked for 15. So when we're negotiating, we need to, as we say, write the victory speech for the person across from the table, because sometimes it's more difficult for them to go back to their team and their stakeholders than, again, it is to even work with the person across the table. So have those other stakeholders in mind.
Negotiation is an art, back and forth, give and take. And today, both Daryl and I took something. Higher salaries, win-win-win. But life is about more than just salary. It's about perks, like having sex with Jan.
Michael!
So obviously this is ridiculous. And this is kind of what we're talking about with the victory speech. You need to let someone walk away from the table and be able to say that they won. But if we can take anything from this clip, it's one, that relationship is a dominating factor in the process and outcome of a negotiation. Your previous history and levels of trust will often dictate how the outcome will be. Communication moves cannot be overemphasized. They can save the day. Just saying we need to order in lunch at this moment can be a brilliant negotiation move. And we need to be thinking not about winning or losing, which creates strange behaviors and leaves people like Michael Scott to go on Wikipedia and look up negotiation tactics and alienate the other person. And maybe if you're lucky and you get someone like Jan who's saying, okay, what's really going on? You'll get somewhere, but we need to be thinking more and more about what if this were a joint problem-solving activity and not an open-air haggle over numbers. Okay, negotiators, go get them.